Thank you for tuning in to Terry Swoope Videos. On today's video, I'm going to do a Where They Now on the legendary British R&B singer, Caron Wheeler. She's mostly known for being in the R&B group Soul to Soul, but she was in numerous other R&B groups on top of that. Caron Wheeler has one of the best singing voices I ever heard before in my life. Her voice is amazing, and I think she's extremely underrated. When you think of the greatest British R&B singers in history, you think of people like Billy Ocean, Sade, and I think Caron Wheeler should be in that conversation of the greatest British R&B singers of all time. Caron Wheeler was born on January 19th, 1963 in London, England, and she was born from Jamaican parents. And the first group that she ever joined was in 1977, and the group was called Brown Sugar. She competed at a talent show, and she won the talent show, and then she was asked to join this group called Brown Sugar. And they were a reggae group. They sung reggae primarily. And they didn't have a lot of success, but they were together between 1977 and 1983. And then they broke up. And then the second group she joins is a group called Aphrodisiac. This is a group that she was with between 1983 and 1987. And then in 1988 is when she joined Soul to Soul. Soul to Soul was produced and managed by the leader of the band, Jazzy B. And their first big hit came in 1989 when they released the single Back to Life. This song went to #1 on the UK charts. It sold over 1 million copies in the UK, and it also sold over 1 million copies in America and made the top 5 on the Hot 100 charts of America. And this song is what made her an international star. It made her an international success. And Soul to Soul became one of the biggest selling groups in the UK. Their follow-up single, Keep On Moving, was just as successful. It made the top 10 on the UK charts and the US charts. But their success was short-lived because she left the group in 1990 to take on a solo career. In December of 1990, Caron Wheeler released her debut album as a solo artist. The album was called UK Blake, and it featured the hit single, Living in the Light. Living in the Light went to #1 on the US dance charts, and it went to #5 on the UK charts. And this was her first success as a solo artist after being in 3 different groups over the last 15 years. She had several minor hits with her first album, but Living in the Light was her biggest hit. She releases her second album in 1993 called Beach of the War of Goddess. And her biggest hit on this album was I Adore You. This song was on the soundtrack to Mo Money, which starred Damon Wayans, Marlon Wayans, and the Wayans brothers, and it also stars Stacey Dash. I Adore You is my favorite song by Caron Wheeler. I've heard this song 1,000 times, and I would hear it another 1,000 times. This is how much I love this song. I Adore You made the top 10 on the R&B charts in 1993. It probably would have went to #1 if they would have recorded a music video, but this song had no music video to it. This was her last success as a solo artist. She released numerous songs throughout the 1990s, but I Adore You was her last hit. She ended up rejoining Soul to Soul in the early 2000s. She still performs with Jazzy B and Soul to Soul to this day. Even though they haven't released any new music, they're still performing their hits from back in the day. And today she's 58 years old. And as you can see, she still looks lovely at 58 years old. And I'm just glad to see that she's still alive and well and she's still performing. I just think she's one of the greatest underrated singers of all time. And I don't think she gets enough credit that she deserves. A lot of people have different opinions about this topic. I want to thank everybody for watching my video. Leave a comment, rate and subscribe. Share this video on Facebook and Twitter.